live.
We are live. Now I want to go find us. Hello, everybody. Can you hear me out there?
Yes.
Are you able to find us on the business?
I got you.
You got us? I don't see us yet. So I want to say hello to everybody in our MLSP family tonight. You have me, Lindsay Sewell, and
Kim Ward. Lord help us.
You talk. I'm going to look and see if I can pull us up so that I can see comments.
Okay, so happy Thursday. What is up, MLSP family? Warner and Roxanne. Good evening. Thank you for hopping on. Hi, Sean. So we have a dynamic duo tonight, and Lindsay is so clever when it comes to like, hey, what do you want to talk about? And she just busts out these titles and these names. And I'm like, I'm so jealous. You have such a skill. Hi, Teresa and Tina. And so Anthony, what's up, Brooklyn? And so we've got the summit, right? We've got an amazing summit coming up, which on last night's webinar, Tina and Marla and Diane and Anthony, you guys crushed that conversation last night. And so Lindsay and I thought we would come and have a discussion about promotion explosion, which this girl, I just saw like comic book themes in my head and like those emojis. I'm like, all right, promotion explosion it is. So welcome to the party.
Yay! I finally got everything up here, so I can now see everybody in the chat. Hello, everybody. All right, so I got a quick question for you. As we kick this webinar off tonight, how many of you are aware of what we have coming up starting next week? What is it? The 3rd. I don't even know what day of the week that is. That's Thursday. How many of you are aware of what we have coming up starting on Thursday? And if so, have you been promoting it already? Give me a yes if you have. I want to know what.
Yes. Giving you yes.
Kim, I'm talking to the audience as well as you. Oh my gosh, I've got the weirdest situation going on my phone. I want to see the messages, but I can't see us. I don't know what's happening.
Hi, Diana. Roxanne said yes. Is there an echo? Are you echoing, Lindsay?
It's not on my end. I'm not hearing any echo.
Anthony, I don't know if you're saying echo like
echolocation
slang term. Oh, it's him. It's him. It's all good. Okay.
All right. And we've got some yeses, right? We've got Tina, our webinar star, has been promoting. Anthony, Scotty, Diana. Dee Dee's like, this happens. I know. I'm a techno like baby. I got this fancy new phone, but I can't do half of the things on it. So that's awesome. I love to hear that you guys are already promoting. Here's another question for you. How many of you engaged in post-promotion today from the webinar last night? Oh, it's Kim just told me we kick off on the 9th. Oh my gosh. Wait, we do?
It's the 9th through the 16th.
Oh my word. You know,
you guys changed a little bit. We forgot to give you the memo.
You guys can't take me anywhere.
That's okay. I've got a tight leash on you tonight.
Oh, I know. Oh my goodness, you guys, I'm under the weather, but I want to be here with you tonight. So just if weird things come out of my mouth, just know that I'm doing the best that I can.
That's more than enough.
Oh, thank you. So who's been post-promoting last night? Because this is one of the things that I learned early on from Diane, that there are actually 3 different stages of promotion. You have pre-promotion, promotion, and then you have post-promotion. Mm-hmm. And so leading up to this summit that's kicking off on the 9th, you're really in like a pre-promotion at this point, right? Because if you started to go gung-ho from now until the 9th, we're talking, like almost 2 weeks. You're going to get so tired. You're going to get so like, you won't know what to come up with and say anymore to promote the summit. And so if you do want to talk about the summit that's coming up, you kind of just want to hint that there's something big coming. You kind of want to hint at some of the things that people are going to learn without being really, really direct. But what's really neat here inside of MLSP is that along the way, we give you other congruent things to promote leading up to it. So you have other things to talk about, get excited about, and promote without having to say the same thing over and over again, that will ultimately still lead to people wanting to sign up and join the summit.
Yep.
So with the webinar last night, you could post promote something that you absolutely, like a nugget you took away, an insight you had, a light bulb that went off, something that you think would be valuable to your audience. And you can say, oh my gosh, I can't believe XYZ that I learned last night, or that hit me like a ton of bricks last night, or I realized that I haven't been doing this in my business and I'm changing that for 2022. And if you want to go hear exactly what I'm doing to do that, go ahead and take a look at this amazing webinar that I went to, or amazing training, or whatever you want to call it, right? We get to call things whatever we want. It doesn't have to be like just webinar all the time. I call things workshops, master classes, live trainings, gatherings. You get to change the lingo in order to keep things interesting for your list. Awesome. And Diana says weird things come out of her mouth all the time.
Welcome to the club.
Awesome. So a bunch of you said you were promoting last night. Letisa says that she's just getting started, so please help. So Kim, when we start talking about promotion for this upcoming summit, do you want to go over there and take a look at the sales page with
I would
me?
love to. Heck yes.
Let
Heck
me do
yes.
that.
That's where I pull a lot of my things from, especially from the Wednesday webinar. I always go right to the sales page to see what the language is, what's being talked about, and then I will extract that to use in my conversations with people. So it becomes even more congruent of a conversation. Very cool.
I love that. I love that you used that. You brought that up, because that's a really, really important thing, is that Kim's using the language that she's pulling from the sales page in her promotion, which means that when somebody says, yes, I want to know more about that, and she sends them to the sales page, it's very congruent messaging. And that's something that Norbert talks about a lot, is you want to make sure that every step of the process that you're taking people through is congruent. So, if you're saying, hey, do you want to know the roadmap in order to hit rockstar status in your business? And somebody's like, yeah. And then you bring them over here and they see those exact words. It's a very congruent message. So let's take a look at what you guys have here. So again, you have the problem, right? You have the problem that you can start sharing and communicating with your audience. And I don't know about you, but that was a big problem for me in the beginning.
Mm-hmm.
I had a lot of, okay, go and just friend everybody that you can possibly find. Like, go into local moms groups, go to your friends and friend their friends, and just friend everybody that you can. And you just got to get your message out there, talk to more people, and it's the law of averages, which in business, I get it. It is a law of averages, but at the same time, I wasn't friending and I wasn't connecting with the right types of people. That was a big deal for me in the beginning. How about you?
I'm still unfriending those people. I'm not kidding. It was the dash to 5,000 friends. And it's like you said, right? They're not your people. And when we understand who our person is, if they're not our person, they're not paying attention. They're not paying attention to what we're posting or what we're talking about or the hard work that we put into our content. So this right here is not only foundational, it's critical. This is what is going to kind of set you off on that starting line, so that you don't have to come back and redo the work.
Yes. Oh my gosh. I am, because I like to go through, this is another thing that you guys can take with you is every day I look for people's birthdays just as much to wish them a happy birthday. By the way, I never pitch them on their birthdays because they're getting so many messages from so many people, but I want to stay connected with them. I want to remind them that I'm who I am. And I also want to decide whether or not I still want to be friends with them.
Yep.
So a lot of times people get unfriended on their birthdays because I look at the person and I go, oh my gosh, I have no idea why we became friends in the first place.
Oh my gosh. You know, half of my tribe is here right now, and we have this conversation in private settings. And I just want you guys to know, Lindsay and I did not talk about any of this ahead of time. This is the point you get to. And it's funny because we'll meet, you know, some of my tribe and I will meet and we'll do kind of like a power 30 instead of a power hour. One of our tasks are to look at who's having a birthday today. And what we do is we open up those birthdays in a new tab so that every person with the birthday has a tab open. And we look at one tab at a time and we go through their profile and look at, is this person someone who I can serve and serve well, or is it not my person? And if it's not, you quietly unfriend them and move to the next tab. And there's been days where 100% of the people on my friends list who have a birthday today have been unfriended. But like I said, that's just a very quiet way to clean up your algorithm, to clean up your network. You don't have to go over to Facebook and announce that you just unfriended the ugly people. That's not necessary.
Gosh.
Okay.
I always see those and I'm like, wow. So I'm still on that person's list, but to how many people am I the ugly person?
I can't with you. Oh my God.
So I know we said we were going to talk about, you know, promotion explosion, but this is such a key part. And this is the first part of the BES strategy inside of MLSP, which is build, engage, sell, is that you need to have that right audience. So if you're not connecting with the right people, all of the resources inside your back office in the phase 1 trainings are going to teach you how to network and how to connect with those right people, so that when we get to this part, which is like the engaging and the promotion part, you're speaking to people that are very likely to want to take action. And then when you give them these solutions, right, a plan and a system for 2022 and an entire community to support you. This is something I think is so often overlooked when we talk about promotion. And that's this energy around doing it as a group and a crowd together. Some of your promotion leading up to this summit could be around, hey, I'm committed to learning a couple of these skills, and we'll talk about some of the trainers' skills that are going to be covered, but I'm committing to learning, you know, short form video or building out my own Facebook group or whatever it is that you really want to hone in on 2022. Who else is looking to really master that skill as well? And you leave these open-ended questions for people so that they start naturally wanting to answer, because our ego says, yeah, I have to respond, right? This is what I'm going to master in 2022. I have to tell you because I'm so proud of what I'm doing in my business. And it opens up a conversation for you to talk to them about this summit and about the things that, you know, if their things match up with what you've got on offer in this summit, and you can say, let's all do this together. And then after you grab a couple people, you can say, oh my gosh, I've got this amazing crew. Me and 5 other of my best entrepreneur friends are doing this, attending this summit together. It's virtual and it's only $1. do you want to come do it with us as well? We're all going to, maybe you say we're all going to, get in a group chat and talk about what we're learning and hold each other accountable to implementing it during the summit. And
I was just going to say that. I didn't want to steal your thunder. And this is the thing, like, I don't mean to brag. I love when we do this together, because I always say we yin and yang so well. But one thing, right, it comes with 30 days of MLSP membership. And I will tell you, I say this to a lot of people, if you've ever walked into a casino for the first time, there's bells, there's whistles, there's stimuli. It's very, very overwhelming. And I see that happen for a lot of people when they step into the MLSP community, because as a whole, our job is to serve so many different businesses and entrepreneurs and people at different levels in the game. That's why I love, first and foremost, about this phase 1 and phase 2 is like, take what you need, reduce that perception of overwhelm. And the best way to do that is to help overcome those objections from the beginning. And the past, 3 times we've done something like this, it was attached to a contest at the time. And I took first place in all 3 of those contests. And it was just a matter of enrolling. But what Lindsay's helping you with right now is that pre-promotion, the promotion, and the post-promotion. But one major component, excuse me, my allergies are killing me, is my recognizing that time is your most precious commodity. And I understand that you're not going to have 60 minutes twice a day to sit here on a Zoom with phase 1 and phase 2. So what I will do is ask their permission. Listen, I'm going to create a group chat, right? And it's going to be for conversation and accountability. Would you like to participate? And I know the sessions that I'm on, I'm going to be taking notes. I throw them into a small little PDF and I upload those notes to our group chat. Now this starts to create conversation, community engagement, and you as the leader, you can choose if you want to step off that gas pedal a little bit and let them interact with themselves. But mentally, I'm thinking of longevity and retention. And this type of small environment is going to help you now retain those members who may have that perception of overwhelm as you do this together.
Yes.
So,
I love that. And you know what? It shows that you're a leader. You're leading from the front. When you do that and you offer, like, I'm going to tell you, all of you who are on here, all of you who are members of MLSP, you want to make sure that you go in and get registered for this summit. This is included with your membership, and you get the opportunity to then also promote it for $1 to other people, and they get 30 days inside of MLSP and all the tools and all the resources. And you get to lead them from the front and guide them through this entire summit. So, you're able to let people know, hey, guess what? I know there's going to be a lot of information. That's what's so awesome about this. We have 2 tracks. If you're brandy spanking new, let's focus on the phase 1 sessions. I'm going to go to all of them, and I'm going to make sure that I'm taking notes. So you'll have access to my notes afterwards. You don't have to do all of this all at once. And you can talk about the problems that a lot of people have when they join challenges and trainings and summits, in that they're all excited to join on day 1. And then as it goes, I think there's like statistics that like 70% of people drop off of things by like day 3. We're in this super busy world. Yep. And even as much as we want to make time for things, sometimes other stuff comes up, right? We're both moms, like our kids, like a kid goes down, they're sick. It's like, okay, all hands on deck. Everything else goes to the wayside. Yes. Yeah. And you get to be able to help kind of guide these people through and show your leadership. And guess what? Chances are you're going to have better retention long term and have people who stick with you past the summit. The summit is like this amazing like smorgasbord where there's all these little snacks and appetizers. And then once they're inside of the community, they get to decide to have larger portions of their favorite things and the things that are most relevant and most satisfying to them and their appetite for their business.
Absolutely. Absolutely. And I love, you kind of talked about leverage without using the word leverage. As a parent, as a, whatever, farmer, I don't care what you are, there's not always going to be, every moment of your life that you can be present and be trading time for money, as we say. So when you have these group environments where you can lean on other members of your tribe, right? People step up to the plate, the conversations happens, the notes are flowing, and you can be present where you need to be without missing out really on anything. And, it's funny when you asked, when we first started, who started to promote? And I said, I did, but we are still in a pre-promotion phase. So this is the time where it's just subtle mumbles and small hints. And I took a screenshot of the MLSP, like the big leaderboard, the big all-time point leaderboard. And I happened to catch my name and your name. And I said, there's only 2 L3 leaders on this leaderboard right here. And ironically, we're both speaking on the summit. So it was like a little mumble about the summit and kind of edifying us as leaders. But truly, hear this, what we're saying here is exactly what we do. There's no smoke and mirrors. This is exactly what we do and apply into our daily lives to help guide and also to enjoy that leverage so that we can both be present with our family and our, daughters.
Yeah, exactly. And while we're in this pre-promotion for the actual summit, you guys still have the opportunity this week to promote directly to the webinar. And now you have the opportunity to post promote that today or tomorrow, and then you can start promoting the next webinar. And if there's somebody who is speaking on the webinar, I don't know what they're doing next week, just as of yet, we'll probably find out more tomorrow. You can start to edify that person and say, oh, I'm really looking forward to this webinar. And I'm so excited that he or she is also going to be one of the lead trainers on the summit that's in February. Because then people start to go, what summit? Am I missing out on something? Is there something going on? They get that FOMO, that fear of missing out, that you know something that they don't. And so while you may be having the goal of getting them to the webinar, to be in front of, Brian and Norbert and Diane and everybody in order to promote the summit, you're also dripping on them that it's coming. So even if they're not deciding to go to the webinar this coming Wednesday, they may still be having it in their head. So when you start the heavier promotion, the more direct promotion, they're like, oh, I remember that Lindsay talked about a summit coming up in February. This must be what she was saying. All right, I'm going to pause for a second just to see if this is landing for you guys. If this is helpful, if there's questions that are coming up or insights that are coming from this. And yes, as every level of membership gets access to this entire summit. This is huge. If you start taking a look at the people who are here, you're having, what is it? Is it 16 different trainers?
Oh, yeah, we've got 17.
17. I can't get my numbers straight. This is why they don't let me do the accounting.
I love it.
17 different leaders and trainers. All of us have different styles, which is really cool because you don't know who your audience is going to most resonate with. Kim and I, while yes, we kind of bounce off of each other, also both have very different styles in our marketing and our presentations and the things that we do and the way that we do it. And so somebody coming to this summit may really resonate with Valerie, or they may really resonate with me, or they may really resonate with Kim or Diane or Sean, because he's part-time. There's a whole wide variety of different lifestyles, backgrounds, personalities for your potential leads and your affiliates and members to connect with and to learn from, which is really, really cool. Because a lot of times with a challenge, I've been in challenges where I really want the content, but I can't stand the presenter.
I just laughed out loud because it's true for all of us. Yeah. Yeah.
Where I'm like, ugh, I want to learn this new skill, but I just do not jive with this person, right? I don't jive, we're not connecting. And so this opportunity gives you all these different peoples.
I'm sorry. I'm still laughing at the previous comment.
All these different peoples and personalities. But here's the really neat thing. So if your people can't, attend all of these trainings, you get to direct them to the different tracks, or you can choose with your promotion if you just want to promote a handful of the different courses. Do you guys get that you don't have to talk about every single trainer or every single topic that we're going to be offering? So Kim,
Lindsay,
give me one strategy on how you would talk about this summit.
I'm going to pick out probably my top 3, dates or trainers. Like, what am I most looking forward to? And I will probably go over to Instagram and either create some funny reels, because I'm very funny, even if, you don't think so. I do. And just really use those top 3 to talk about and peel back like an onion. So if I know that you're talking about leveraging Facebook stories, I'm going to drip and start kind of adding that value and the new perspective of stories and why stories. And hey, I'm not the expert, but my friend Lindsay sure the heck is. And guess what? We're going to be talking about stories on February 10th, 6 p.m., right? Let's go.
Yes, I love that. And I think what's really neat about that is that, see, a lot of times in marketing, people want to say what it is, and they want to give you, they want to talk about all the details. Oh my gosh, there's going to be a summit, and there's going to be 17 people, and they're going to cover this on this day and this on this day, and they're bombard people with what it is, and it's information overload, and your brain is designed to conserve calories. So literally, if you throw all that information at people, they're like, I can't absorb a single thing. I'm just closing down the browser and leaving. Like I can't even handle it, because our brain doesn't like overwhelm. And when we're overwhelmed, or we perceive that overwhelm, as Kim says, we choose to do nothing. So I love that you're like, hey, I'm going to pick my top 3. That's really what I'm going to focus on. Now, if somebody comes to the summit and they fall in love with a different trainer or a different course that wasn't in Kim's top 3, does it matter? No. No, you got them there in the first place. And the other thing that you brought up, which I think is overlooked a lot, is that edification of the person presenting. And I've seen you do this so well especially when MLSP hosts, a back-to-back webinar where there's, the first week of training and they do a second week of Q&A. One of the things that I've seen you do that I just have to point out, because I'm always like, oh, it's genius, is that Kim will take the notes, she'll turn around and implement it, then she'll share her results within like 48 hours and be like, oh my gosh, look at what I've learned from this person. And then she'll post promote that training or that webinar, which you guys can do, by the way, with these summit videos. If you see one that you love and you start using it, you can post promote it. People can then join and go back and watch them. And then you turn around and you lead that into promoting the next week.
Mhm.
and saying, hey, I can still get you the replay, and then you can come and ask your questions. You have a couple days left to implement this before you're going to ask your questions. So this is what you can do when you're doing your promotion and you're talking about this summit. During the summit, you can continue promoting it, telling people what you're learning, what you're implementing, edifying the speakers, edifying the coaches. If you know us personally, use that.
I want to back up for a second because I think I went off on a tangent with the reels, because there's a lot of people who are asking, like, what are reels and how do I do them? If you have to ask that question, that piece of this conversation is not for you. All right. I am not here to create more work and more overwhelm and more stuff. So another thing, like you said, is, go to Facebook. Right. And I've already got my Facebook banner created. So I'm just going to let you know, because I'm one of the speakers. So if you're not, like Lindsay said, lean on someone who you're close with inside that maybe is a speaker, or all. Actually, if you are a member, no, Charlotte, don't be sorry. I just want to give you other options, because I do not want to overwhelm you. That's not the purpose of why we're here. So if you're a member in the MLSP back office under training, you're actually going to find the Roadmap to Rockstar. I'm not sure what it is, but you can access that course. And there are some graphics back there that are already created for you. So once we get into the window, which we'll talk about probably in just a few minutes, of when is it now like promotion time? When is it go time? Then we can swap out maybe the header or the cover photo of your Facebook profile. Now I've got mine created. It's branded to me, right, as a speaker. And because I'm talking about how to create, how to grow, and how to monetize your own Facebook groups, my banner is branded to that topic, to that theme. So I'm really going to have that discussion publicly through Facebook, whether it's lives or whether it's going into groups and just asking questions like, are you growing your own group? Are you monetizing your own group? And maybe use my day or another leader's day to start generating those conversations. So we can make this as basic and simple and easy, or we can make this as complicated as you want to get. That's my point, Charlotte. So don't feel bad.
And that's why we're coming on here, and we're, Kim threw that example out because that's her jam right now. Like, she's crushing it over on reels. Like, she's got these goofy reels, and I keep going over and watching them, and then I want to copy them, and then I'm like, she's going to see that I'm copying her reels. Come smack me. But I do, because I'm like, ooh, I love this. And actually, in short form video, there is a lot of mimicking and copying, but that's the way that she does it. But we're also talking to you in generality of concepts tonight on how to talk about this summit and how to promote wherever it is that you're building your business and audience. If you're heavy over on Instagram, then that's where you're going to do the promotion. If you're heavy on Facebook, don't go, oh my gosh, I got to go start creating Instagram reels and go down a rabbit hole. Like, just do it on Facebook. If you're going in and you have some really rock solid Facebook groups that you engage in and you get a lot of leads in, or you're able to promote in, then do it there. We want to give you the ideas and the concepts. That's what we called it, promotion explosion, right? Like, all the different ideas and ways to communicate and talk about this, because you don't want to just talk about this once and hope and pray that people come across your post and decide to ask you for the link, or click on a link and show up. That's like posting and praying. That doesn't work. When we go into promotion, yes, we will talk about that heavier level. It's more than once.
Daily.
And it's in more than one place.
Yeah. Yeah.
So before we get to that, because we're almost at 5:40 here. Look at some of the topics, go to the sales page, get familiar with this. This is one of the things that I challenge people to do when they're trying to promote an affiliate offer and they're like, well, I don't understand what people see once they click the link to register. And I'm like, well, have you registered? So you want to go to the sales page, read the sales page, know what's on there so that you feel confident talking about it. Register for this. See what happens on the back end when people register, right? You want to see what your audience is going to see when they click through and opt in. Anthony is your number one fan, Kim.
I'm his too.
And look, if you have questions about Reels, guess what? Lisa's going to talk about that on Saturday, February 12th. So if you're hearing that Reels are really hot and people are generating lots of Reels, they're monetizing. I just got invited to be the Instagram creator thing. And I was like, I don't even know what I'm supposed to do here. But people are making money just from providing content for these platforms. And you can start to talk about that and say, oh my gosh, I just realized that just by being able to do these short form videos and get lots of views and create content that the platforms want, you could be paid for that in addition to building your own business.
Listen, I have to drop this. Everyone's going to hate me, but your audience is now going to be able to tip you on Instagram via gifts. So keep going, girl.
I love that. That is so cool. I will happily take tips. Bring me the money. Bring me the money.
That's right.
So you can share that excitement around these things and you don't have to know how to do them and be the expert. You can say, I can't wait to go learn this because I'm seeing the writing on the wall. And I, used to do Facebook Lives, but now I'm seeing that these Reels and these stories and these TikToks, we've got Keisha coming in, I think, to talk about TikToks. I mean, come on. That is just sexy right there, that offer. That is a sexy offer. Everybody wants to know this stuff. No, Teresa, I'm not saying that you pay the $1. I'm saying you want to make sure that you're looking at these sales pages and you're seeing what your audience is going to see so that you can speak. I'm talking about more so when I say you want to go through the opt-in. If you're going to send out one of our done for you lead magnets or funnels inside of MLSP, you want to be going through that stuff too to see what people see. But no, you don't need to pay the dollar because you're already in. So there's all kinds of different things in here that people really want to learn right now. And marketing gurus and Facebook ads are throwing courses in front of these people that are hundreds, if not thousands of dollars. And then you come along and you're like, I got people who can show you this for $1. That's a sexy offer.
I'm sold.
Kim, why don't you come to the summit?
I'll be there.
You'll be there on February 11th and the other days, because guys, just like we're teaching you, we wouldn't tell you to do something that we don't actually do in our business. So we will be doing this as well. We will be promoting this. You just reminded me that I need to create a new Facebook cover so that I can promote that as well. That's something you can easily do in Canva and brand it to yourself. And yes, you can use the done for you assets because you can sprinkle those through other areas on social media, but you want people to connect the offer with you as well. You want to be in front of it and you want to be the gatekeeper that gives them the key and the solution. Because if they don't know us, they don't really care about us. But if you've gotten a result or you're talking about their pains and their problems and you have the solution, then they care. Then they pay attention. Then they want to come because they want to know how to do XYZ thing that's on XYZ day of the summit.
So true.
I'm going to stop sharing this now because I want to see your face bigger.
I'll get a cardboard cutout for you and ship it to you.
Oh, then we could Then we could be in the office
Oh
together.
my gosh. That's
Just
not
like
a
your
bad idea.
husband's head.
Yeah, I
Since
have it.
he wouldn't do Facebook Lives with you.
That's right. We're okay, y'all. We're okay.
So, anybody wondering when you shift from kind of just this mumbling and pre-promotion into direct promotion? And
I know what I think. I want to hear what you think.
Well, I want to hear what you think.
Okay. Fine. So my opinion is February 9th is what's today? Thursday. So it's what? I don't even know how many days. 10 days-ish? 2 weeks?
Yep.
2 full weeks, pretty much. So Monday, January 31st, Wednesday, February 2nd. So between Monday and Wednesday, so the 31st through the 2nd is when I'm going to start changing things up, having those conversations, changing the headers, even giving myself a good 7-8 days of promotion.
Mm-hmm. Yes. So I always say 7 for a big event, something you really want to get a lot of eyeballs on. I say about 7 to 10 days. With this one, I have some other things that are happening early in the week of the 31st. So I will likely do some soft inviting to the webinar to see if people want to come, and let Brian and his energy, or whoever he's bringing on there, close people into the summit for me. I'm just going to do that because honestly, I don't want to confuse my audience with too many different things. And so I'm going to let him do that for me. And then once that's done, I will start to launch into really direct promotion between, what is it? It's going to be, the 2nd and the 9th. And that's when I'm going to create Facebook events, my own, right? It's going to look like I've created the Facebook event, but in the description, and I know Kim does this as well, it's going to talk about the language from the sales page of the summit and give them the link to register. I will go heavy in my stories and probably do something that references the summit every day leading up to that, because the stories only last 24 hours. And so it's not like somebody's going to come to my profile and see every single post for 10 days in a row was just like summit promotion. The stories are going to go away, and you can do as many stories as you want in a day. So if I do, personal stuff 80% of the time, but I'm like, oh, by the way, something about the summit, right? Maybe I highlight the speaker that day and like, oh my gosh, this one blew my mind. You can still watch this one, like I can continue to do it every single day, and I can do it through the summit as well.
Can you elaborate on the Facebook event? Because we do this pretty heavily, and every single week that there's a Wednesday webinar, I have a Facebook group. Lindsay has a Facebook group. We both create events to invite people to the webinar. So what does that process look like?
So for instance, I'll create a graphic that has like kind of the tagline, right? So it could be something, I need to just go take a look at this sales page again. I could choose to brand it to me because I'm speaking at the summit, or I could say, hit rockstar status fast in 2022 to create your dream business. That could be my title of my, Facebook event inside my group. And then, like I mentioned, I could go through and put, literally copy and paste the text from the sales page. Yeah, I learned that from you.
That's what we do. We just copy and paste.
It works. Put the link for them to register. And then I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to invite 500 people, because I can, to that event. I'm going to click the button, invite as many as I can, right? And it's going to invite 500 people from my group. Now, if you don't have a group that has 500 people, you can also do this on your personal profile. You can create an event. And so you don't have to have a Facebook group, but I like to do it inside a Facebook group because I've cultivated building that. And Kim's going to teach you all about how to do it. So you know what? You're going to learn it at the summit.
Like a boss. You better show up to my day. Oh my gosh.
You know I am, because I got a Facebook group.
Listen, Tina, I'm glad you caught that because that sounded so bougie. It was amazing, Lindsay. I was dying. Like, I'm going to invite 500 people because I can. Like, I love it so much, but it was the bougiest thing you've said.
Well,
but I love it.
I meant because Facebook lets you hit that button that says, do you want to send out 500 invites? And I'm like, yes, of course I do. Like,
I do the same thing. I do the same thing. So yeah,
I don't want to do the work and have to go pick and choose people. I'm like, no, Facebook, do it on my behalf.
That's right. That's right. So I hope that answers your question. I forget who asked that, but that was a really, Roxanne, great question. So Anthony's getting into that too. So really, honestly, if you're, and not to go off on a whole tangent of Facebook groups, we'll get into that in the summit, but if you have a Facebook group and you're using that as a sales funnel to attract people and grow and cultivate that community, creating an event every single week for the Wednesday webinar is a great way to generate new leads. And that button there that says, do you want to invite all members of the group? Say yes. You know, and I've had several conversations this week with people of like, if you're going to sit here and overthink that action, right? That indecisiveness or that overthinking is the worst case of self-abuse that there is. Just, you're here for business. Check that box, invite everybody without the, well, what if they don't want to go? What if then they'll say no, or they'll ignore it, or they'll leave your group. Who cares? The point is, there are weeks, I mean, you guys see me all over the leaderboards. I used your text message today. You sent me a text message this morning and she was like, have you seen the leaderboards? You are killing it. So I created a reel or a TikTok or something with all the leaderboards. And it's literally because I do these events every single week. And there are weeks I generate 12 leads in a night. There's been days where I'm out shopping and my phone's blowing up and I look and I've generated 26 leads in one day just because I created an event. Yep. Simple.
And yes, Tina just said they sift and sort themselves. That's really cool, is that people like to go make the decisions for themselves. So sometimes they won't raise their hand on a post because they're like, oh, are you going to come sell me something? But if you just post it and put it out there, they get to go, okay, I'm going to click on the link now. I'm going to check out the sales page. Kim doesn't know. I can see if I want to go. She's not going to follow up with me, because sometimes people are like, if they're in the industry, especially, they're like, if I say I'm even interested, this person's going to follow up with me 87 times in the next 3 weeks. And they may not, even if they are curious, raise their hand. So you've got to give them different ways to go into your funnel, essentially. And that's just a fancy word for to get in to see the content. But I don't stop with just creating the event. So what I'll also do inside the group is I'll post things that are relevant to the event, not talking about the event, but I might say to people, hey, how many people on here are using Facebook stories to grow your business and you're making money from them? And then if people are comment and they're like, I am, or how do I do that? Things like that. Then I can go back, because they've now given me permission to continue this conversation with them. And I can go, oh my gosh, I'm actually going to be teaching on a summit about that. Or, oh my gosh, Lindsay, one of my friends, is going to be teaching about that on a summit. Let me tag you in this so you can go ahead and register.
Yep. There's so much here, man. We could go on for hours about this. And, Vicki asked a great question, and she said, how do you promote this if MLSP isn't your main thing? And for anyone who may be thinking like that, right? Like, you've got your primary business. There are times where, look, many of you know me because of MLSP. You may know Lindsay because of MLSP. I'm not MLSP, right? I've got a nonprofit. We've had mental health summits, but if that's not my thing or my main thing, that does not stop me from promoting that summit, because I know that there are people in my audience who need that. And we're here to serve. We are here to help people close the gap from where they are to where they want to be. And there are people in all of your networks who need to do a better job at social media. I can tell you that right now. This is the place for them. So in my opinion, it's all about messaging, right? And so you can still have those conversations about your primary business and how you serve your people, but bringing in the fact of like, look, this is what I do, right? Fill in the blank. And I'm really excited to attend the summit that's coming up, where I'm going to learn how to become a better marketer so that I can get my blankety blank in front of more people. Do you have a business that you would like to get more exposure for, generate more leads for, make more money in? And those people are like,
this year.
of course, yes, I do. Now you have that private conversation of, look, I'm attending this summit, and I can get you in for $1, right? There's nothing weird about that.
Yes. And honestly, if you are building a business online and you are a marketer, you should be connecting with other people in the online marketing space, because those are your people, right? And those are the people that are likely to want to support you and buy from you. And as companies go out of business and change, those are the people that are going to join you. Those are the people that if you connect with them, even if they don't want to join your primary business, you can offer them all the other tools and resources that can help them and benefit them in their business. That's the beautiful part about MLSP, is that MLSP doesn't compete with anybody's network marketing company. It doesn't compete with people's product sales, because it's not a direct competition. It's a added bonus. It's something that marketers are going to need anyways.
Listen, I don't care if you're a pizzeria. I don't care if you're a flower shop. I will teach you how MLSP will help you catapult your exposure, your sales, your leads, and your organic referrals. And quite honestly, we use the word rock star a lot, don't we? I think that's a really overused term. We're all rock stars, right? But what does the word rock star mean to you? What does it mean to the people in your audience? So maybe let's reverse all the way back to the before the finish line and ask, what would it feel like to be a rock star in your business, right? What would that be? I met with a client, this morning, who she wants to grow her business so that she can take her grandkids to Disney World. And it was that feeling. It's no longer about the do. It's no longer about showing up to do the do. It's like, damn it, I'm going to make this happen.
Yeah.
What does a rock star mean to you? And when you start to really genuinely converse and communicate with your audience, your network, your friends, your people, find out what that means to them and say, look, I want you to become a rock star too. And I have a resource that can help you get there.
Yeah. I remember for me, it was wanting to be home with my little baby. And that was so important to me that it was never about the money. It was about that freedom to be home. I just needed enough to be able to say I didn't have to keep that 9-to-5 job that I had at the college. For me, Rockstar was not like climbing to the top rank of the company. It wasn't speaking on giant stages, but it was like, hey, if I can get this consistent income and be home with my family, and if attraction marketing can allow me to do that without spending all day long on my cell phone or on my computer, like banging my head against the wall, posting and praying, then I wanted to learn what those people were doing. That's so powerful what you just said there, because we don't know what's the story going on in their heads. But when we ask, we can find out, and then we can offer a solution if we have one.
I just want to pull that into the conversation, because I know there's a lot of people who are like, I've got my business and I've got MLSP, and this is the problem. This is where it belongs. Bring the message together and start with those questions and those conversations. And MLSP, your business, this summit, there are things in your toolbox. And when you're just having those conversations and opening your heart for people and really understanding what their pain is and their problem, that's how you started tonight's webinar. You can reach into your toolbox And it's not about you getting somebody, and it's not about you doing, whatever. It's about, let me find out what resource I have that best helps you solve that problem. And this is going to be one of those resources for many people.
And this is going to be a resource that, hopefully this becomes something that we can use on an ongoing basis over and over and over again. So, if you go through this summit and you're like, I'm brand new and I missed the opportunity, and I felt like Lindsay and Kim gave me so much. Do what you can right now. And then know that you can keep adding these tools to your toolbox. And you can keep promoting them, like hopefully, I'm assuming this will be something that becomes something that we can continue to promote in some fashion, way, shape, or form. But know that you have all these tools inside here that are at your disposal to help people. And it isn't about getting people. It's about seeing who this summit can help and who it's for. And those right people will show up. And if they fall in love with this community and these resources, they'll stick around and they'll be grateful. And you won't have to beg and chase and coerce people into staying, because they'll be thankful that you gave them this opportunity.
Yeah. You're not selling, you're not spamming. It is the next logical solution in their journey with you. And you've mumbled this several times tonight, but really didn't give it the credit that it deserves. Is hopefully this will be around to promote what we see most people doing. Is when these doors open on February 9th, you stop promoting. And you've mumbled that, and you've said that about your stories, but you should still be promoting and helping people and getting them in until the very last minute of the very last day. And then we'll see what happens from there.
Right. And we don't know. They don't tell us all the information. We're the hired help.
That's it. All right. I hope that tonight served you. This was awesome, Lindsay. We got to do this more often.
I know. Awesome. We're saying, oh, I love that. It's Roxanne says, aligns with my 2022 mission to serve, not sell.
Awesome.
You know what? But you can serve people by selling them things, right? But when it comes from that place of service, it feels good for everybody. And that is a really, really, really impactful way to think about your business in 2022.
Mm-hmm.
I can't believe it's 2022. All right. We're going to kick you all out now.
You've got the magic button, lady. You're going to kick us all out.
Yes.
And see, Anthony says we have great chemistry. I told you, she's the yin to my yang.
I know. She's my work wife.
Thank you so much. Thank you for attending. Thank you for being here. We're around the groups. Let us know if you have any questions, but this is really as simple as it gets, right?
Exactly. And you guys, just because, here's the thing, we did this training tonight, but we don't go away. Like, we're in this community all month long. So, you questions come up, like use the VIP group, use the resources, ask your questions in there. The leaders are popping in there to help you and answer those questions and to guide you through this. It's not just a one and done. We're here all month long.
That's right.
So, all right, we're going to say goodbye now. Mwah! I love you all. Bye-bye, MLS.